Let's see, we just got to start here.
So Levon Aronian is one of the best players in the world, but especially at Blitz he's well known as a really quick player. And okay, now
unfortunately we are getting the wrong moves at our electronical board. Seems to be a mistake in the relay, unfortunately. I apologize for that.
So we are waiting for a broadcast of the proper game. So far we can only follow the moves on our screen. So Anish Giri of Netherlands is probably the one of the youngest players here. He's not doing really well so far, but he's got still almost 20 rounds to improve his position in the cross table, because it's a very long, very tiring tournament.
Well, I think he's a very young and very talented player, but I think Blitz chess is not his main strength. He actually likes to think a lot and such, and this is well, I think it's no surprise that it's Aronian who is doing well and not Giri. I think Giri is doing better in the sort of longer time controls. So
you really need to use your intuition, and
this was a surprising decision by Aronian. Now he aims for some kind of symmetrical structure. I thought he would have taken with the d pawn on c5, but he took with the b pawn.
Anyway, position should be slightly better for white. Maybe because white has an extra move here, so
also
he's still putting some pressure here.
Anish Giri is sort of he is. I think his well, his parents are Nepalese and Russian in some sense, so he's not a very typical Dutch chess player in that sense. And well, I think he speaks fluent Russian, for instance, and well, Russia has a very strong chess culture. But he's living in the Netherlands for quite a while and is representing them both individually and in team events. Here, I would say
position is slightly better for white.
I would say the same.
Not much.
Maybe something like pushing to a pawn forward here would be a typical Aronian move. No, he's just playing rook e1 very quietly. He want to play
preparing e4,
maybe. Yeah, I think it's very equal, but slightly
Black
better.
Should react now with knight e4, trading some pieces.
That would be a good move. He did it. Yeah, Giri. But I think also Giri is a very solid player. He doesn't mind exchanging pieces and such. But let's see, can Aronian come up with something aggressive, or is Black just doing completely fine here? Aronian is exchanging. Okay, Giri will take back, and now I think Aronian has to remove the knight from e4. It can't really be tolerated there.
Actually, knight c3 is
exactly. I don't see any alternative to taking the knight on e4.
Seems like he's forced to take on e4.
But then, I would say white has
just
no.
So
this is so Aronian. It's borderline. It's provoking, but it could also be very strong. But he has really confidence in his own play, and he likes putting the opponent under pressure. So
yeah,
this
especially at Blitz, he's really unpredictable.
But this was a nice defensive move for Giri, I would say.
Yeah, queen e6 is trying just to double heavy pieces on the d file.
Well, I think also putting the queen on f6, because what white really wanted was to put the queen on a1. You see, now Aronian saw no way but to take. So now they exchange the queens, and he will take on e4.
Okay, now the difference is that Aronian can double the rooks on the d file. So,
but I would say here the c line is just as important as the d line.
Black.
Yeah, but let's see.
Probably equalized here.
Maybe rook c7 here. He plays e6. I mean, I really think that our Dutch friend Giri is doing very well here. But on the other hand, it would be typical to Aronian to outplay from here.
Unfortunately, we don't see the clocks, but probably they still have more than 2 minutes each.
I would think so. Well, we can see the clocks there. It's 1:38 for Aronian and 1:55 for Giri.
So Giri has equal position and even better time.
Yeah. So this is quite impressive.
30 seconds advantage is actually a lot on this stage of the game.
You can also see Aronian actually has a comfortable lead in the tournament. I think he has leading by a full point. So even if he makes a draw in this game, he's assuring himself of a win. Okay, now there is some slight aggression from Aronian. He want to play the pawn to f3, and now the next one to e4 maybe. Yeah, he did that, but still, I think Giri is just doing excellent.
Giri just doubled the rook on the c file, so objectively it should be totally equal.
Maybe he will take with the pawn here. Yes, now he want to put the rook on the a line, but Giri immediately sort of, preempts that.
So Giri is trying probably to trade the pawns.
Yeah.
Then we'd have a structure 4 against 4 on the king side, without any pawns on the queen side. Which
to be honest, I think
should be totally equal.
I think Aronian is just going to be forced to accept that this game will be a draw, but
especially now when he's down to 1 minute. So
now there's even a move like rook c1 check, exchanging off the rooks, for instance. Maybe Giri can start playing for a win now. e5.
Maybe that's what he's doing.
Yeah. Maybe he will put the knight
at all. It seems like Black
is our favorite here
without any risk.
Is our favorite in trouble here? What do you think?
Rook b5.
Could be.
Well,
I think
probably
you should
after
draw
some
it.
proper moves.
But
it
still,
should end
it's
up
a
with
bit.
draw,
But how do you defend the pawn now? Well, you don't have to defend the pawn, maybe. But
it looks like it's only black playing for a win now.
yes, I think it's. No, this is quite a surprise. Giri
Why should be satisfied with a half
hasn't been
point
doing
of
too well in this tournament. I think after the first day he had only 3.5 points
Actually,
out of 10.
White is under. White has some problems now. Rook a3 is probably not even possible
there is
because of a4. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I think that Aronian is well. Things hasn't gone his way, but he's a very strong
Okay,
defender.
maybe a4 is not a threat because then there will be a pin on the c file. But still,
it's possible. But still,
yeah, he really has to play really carefully
Let's
now.
see. Also, he's probably running down his clock.
He's
Unfortunately,
got only 20 seconds now, as you can see on the screen. So
and Giri has 1.5 minutes.
For sure, it's not enough to
But
make.
now, for instance, there is a move like rook to c2. Yes, king comes to f1. Can you play the move a4 now? Could be very interesting. If he takes it, then rook b2, doubling the rooks. Is he going to do that? No, he just rook b2. But this is not a threat yet, so let's see. But Aronian cannot be confident about this. This has definitely not gone the Armenians' way.
He's down to 10 seconds. Well, it's not typical for him. It's
not at all. Oh, but now.
So Giri decided to go for a draw.
Why does he do this? Takes an a5. Now the pawn on e5 is hanging. Giri has just decided to go for a draw. That I think was unnecessary by the Dutch player. Of course, a draw is an excellent result against the Armenian leader, but I would still think.
Okay, now the pawn is hanging. Actually, it's not clear what to do with that. Knight c4 seems to be.
Yeah, it should still be a very easy draw.
Well, he started to play a bit passively.
Now, if I know Aronian well, he's actually going to try a bit to just make some very moderate pressure.
Okay, with 9 seconds on the clock, probably he's still satisfied with a draw here a bit.
Sure, but also I think the rules is that they can't agree a draw. Maybe now rook d6 and knight d5 next. Somehow, this is slightly more pleasant for white, I would say. Yeah, knight d5. The pawn on f6 is weak. I mean, of course this position is a draw, but now...
Unexpectedly, black started to play passively.
And
now
Aronian started... What happens here? Rook a6, king f7. I think Aronian has started enjoying himself, or is it just a complete draw? Maybe now simply Giri just can move back and forward with his rook.
Black still's got 1 minute, so it should be enough to find the best way.
But Aronian is going a bit forward here, you see? Let's see, king d2.
He's probably calculating some sacrifice of the pawn, but...
Yeah, he's not sure. So let's see. Yeah, g3. Aronian wants to try a bit, and this is, I think it's justified in some sense. I don't think he's going to win it, but he will enjoy himself for a bit. Let's see. King comes up.
It's not easy for black to make.
This is very typical Aronian.
F5. Okay, F5 probably is both a good idea. It's creating some weaknesses, but it's also trading some pawns on the good side. So
what will happen now? Knight to e3. Now then comes f4.
Okay, now it's down to 5 seconds.
Who is doing? What is this? Pawn on f3 is hanging with check.
But there is knight d6 threat also. So
this is clever.
But still we have. Can take on
this position has a very limited piece.
Now.
I still think we could see some action here.
Yeah, that's.
He's gonna take the pawn. Wow, what happens now? King to e2.
And knight d4 goes back. Aha, there's
what
a
is
pawn
this?
also hanging. Rook d3 just like this.
Whoa, did Aronian blunder here? Check. Where's he gonna go with the king? e6.
Wow.
Is that? Wow. Check on e4. Can it go forward to d5 now?
That's what
he's gonna do. Could Aronian have gambled and is losing now? I think king goes forward to d5.
His position is
you can see that he's nervous, but he also understands that now he could be in for a major upset. Oof, king back to f7, e7. That is very passive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's passive, but black keeps the pawn advantage here.
And of course, you might have a point there. F6, I don't know. Check on d4, king
probably
to f2.
He's got still a great chances.
Maybe e4 now is very strong. Aronian will have to go forward with his king. Another check, back, check, another check. Is Giri going to repeat moves? They agree to draw here.
Satisfied with the draw here?
Yeah, but I think
Aronian probably is really satisfied after such games.
Aronian should be very satisfied that he managed to make a draw, but I think even in the final position, I think Giri could put pressure.
But probably he didn't
he's low
feel really comfortable with
only but you can also see that Aronian seems quite relieved here. So I think this concludes our game 12, and we will be back with game 13.
Thank you for your attention.
Thanks.